Okay, Caesar, I don't know if you saw the situation with Kellyn Acosta.
No, I didn't. Is he where is he now?
Well, he was at Colorado
Yeah.
and he had offers to move to Europe. And
Oh, across the CDM, whatever, right? Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah. I remember him. Okay, okay. What happened?
and they had some offers on the table. Colorado did, but they forced him to transfer to LAFC, and he came out against it, and he was saying that he was saying like I guess there was some tweet that came out, and he was saying that the narrative. He said this narrative is sad. Colorado pushed me out. They had an offer for me on the table from abroad, and ongoing interest, and opted to trade me. So they did a trade with the LAFC, even though he wanted to go overseas. Somebody tweeted, I was like, "Dog, professional slavery, dude." I'm like, "That's literally professional slavery."
And it's another example of how corporate capitalists funded, like pushed MLSs, because players don't have individual rights over what clubs they get to go to. Instead, they're able to override these transfers by doing things that are only allowed within their own league. You're not able to trade Jimmy for Steve overseas. You can't give me Coutinho if I give you Kellyn Acosta. It doesn't work like that with Europe. So here in MLS, yeah, I'll give you that. And what they do, they probably gave him like targeted allocation money or some goofy mess, all garbage, absolutely professional slavery, dating back to a very old story. We made it talked about here. We made it podcast favorite Eddie Johnson, since he left me on red. Still, I checked the day, I'm still red 4 years later. We had me and Eddie Johnson had countless conversations talking about a whole bunch of nothing for years. Ask him one time to get a podcast, left your boy on scene. It's all good though. Support with the culture supporting each other now, allegedly. So Eddie Johnson left me on scene, but he had a great example. Talked about having the opportunity to go to Benfica at 20 years old. He played for the Kansas City Wizards or whatever, or the Dallas Burn, whatever the hell he was, one of them cool ass teams, dope ass jerseys. Team turned it down and then made him stay and then moved him over to Kansas City or something. One of the opposite ways. I'm like, dog, that's messed up. Like, from what he is now, you probably forever stunted his development, because him going to one of the best development teams in the planet, Benfica, he would have been playing. Yeah, it'd been tough for him. He speaks English, he's American, but it would have been a good opportunity to see what he can do. They know how to work with players just like that. They get tons of He plays like a lot of Brazilian players do, very fast, athletic. Been a great opportunity, probably get some great coaching. Who would have known what he turned into? So it's happened before. I think it's a sham, and that's one of the main reasons I hate MLS. It feels like the players don't have a lot of control of themselves. They fought hard for the unionship, which West supported the whole time. Please unionize, because that's what's needed in this super capitalistic country. Even in the soccer, they need to unionize. It's so damn bad. And it's still, I think they need things like a cost situation should be something that union they have should look into in the future. The renegotiation they had, it's great that you got player salaries up, but how about some player rights? If players have, maybe instead of being like, okay, if a player has offers overseas, they have a right to veto, like in NBA, they have a right, like that no trade clause. They should be able to have a no trade clause. I don't want to go in MLS. I have a note. I'm waiving my no trade in MLS. I want only a European offer to be accepted. They should be able to exercise that when they do so, because as someone who only signs a private contract for certain years, you got to have some rights on where you end up afterwards. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really boils down to there not being promotion relegation. Like, there's no incentive.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the team isn't trying to like make money necessarily. They already have money. So, like, yeah, you might as well just like quote unquote trade the assets within your league, because there's no benefit.
The
So,
season before, LA Galaxy got Zlatan, they were last place in the league, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're just kind of able to do whatever the hell you want. They have that goofy discovery system. Oh, we saw him first. I'm like, this guy's been playing since before your league was founded. How did you discover the player? It's just
Yeah.
it's literally a joke of a whole organization, top to bottom.
Yeah, like MLS, like if you're gonna be so anti the spirit of football, they should also get rid of ties. Like you should get rid of draws. Just win or lose.
They should just go. Make it the end. How about just do one-on-one? Start at the middle, and you just one-on-one to who scores first and old goalie, whatever, dog. If we're just gonna be XFL and everywhere, where they run in the middle to kick off, just do that. Because if you're just gonna do whatever you want, go all out. Don't hold back.
And
you already got playoff brackets with the taking 2 months to finish the playoffs because they're doing home and aways and they're taking 3 weeks apart. I'm like, what's going on here?
And even and like it's a shame that we know about that story with Eddie Johnson from over a decade ago, probably
a long time ago. It's an old story.
Yeah, and you're still seeing the same thing in 2022. Like that's insane.
I've seen him because he's a pretty good player. He's solid. He's a pretty good player. He's good. He's a CDM. He's pretty good. I've seen him. He played for Dallas before too, right? Yeah. Like I think he came up from Dallas system. He's a good player.
Hercules Gomez was talking about it on a short clip on ESPN FC, and he was saying, I mean, we talked about MLS being a monopoly a long time ago. I didn't know that was like also a narrative in the mainstream, but he was saying that too. Really? Like he was saying that it's a monopoly, and it's just like he was saying it's a shame that Kellyn Acosta is like forced to move to Los Angeles when he wants to go overseas and play. And he was saying
teams are supposed to field offers, and then there's a negotiation between agents and players on what they can go. It's not supposed to be like, yeah, that offer is good, but we're just gonna force this trade to happen. Like,
yeah, hell? He was saying like Kellyn Acosta was like kind of like he was kind of like the Pulisic before Pulisic, not because he's a goal scorer, whatever, but like he was a really good American player.
Yeah, he's a good
but
player.
Like just been like forced to stay in America. And now that I think about it, I wonder if it has anything to do with his.
I wonder if he'd be able to go to Europe if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, maybe if that color was a little less melanated. Maybe their skin was a little less melanated, it would have had a different story. Because they were trying to get Jordan Morris out there. He was trash. So I don't know, man.
Acosta, especially like I'm not trying to like. This is not even a hater comment. Like he plays CDM. Not extremely difficult to be good at CDM in terms of the skill set base. You got to be pretty good defender. He has some good skill. He probably would have transitioned well in Europe. I've seen him play. He would have transitioned fine on whatever probably Europe league he was going to go. I don't know if he's going to go to Belgium or wherever he's going. He probably would have transitioned well. If he would have went to Finland. I don't know where he's going, but hey, man, maybe he's trying to go to Norway. He read about the politics there. He's like, yo, what's cracking with Norway? Oh, wow, you get that? I have a baby out there. So maybe that's why he's trying to go. And now he's in LA, and he's probably getting paid the same salaries he did at the previous club and paying for a way more expensive crib. And I feel bad for him. So all the best for you, Acosta. Hopefully it works out and they make some change in the future with the union and stuff like that. Because it is a monopoly, straight up.
Shout out Mix Discaroo, who's literally only 31 years old.
No way.
Sort of God.
Well, Mix Discaroo had the... You know what? It might be Mellon because this dude got to go to Man City for a year and just take a vacation, never play. Then he went to Korea and said he had the time of his life. Come on now, man.
Mix Discaroo is only 31.
He was supposed to be that guy, right? He was supposed to be that dude.